Do you have follow-up for the Ash stun, the Sejuani Glacial Prison coming through as well? And you have such big damage with it.
Yeah, so we have barrels from the GP. We also have Beryl in this game, and he's also playing Rel, so he's Beryl. So Ignite. Here comes Lucid up to the top lane. As Kingen has set this up, a bit of damage into Perfect. Can be hard to lock down the Udyr, who does go for the Ghost. As there's the Twisted Advance. Do they have the damage is really the question. As here comes Pillshake, they just give up on it, and now Lucid's in a rough spot. He's trying to run away from this one, and he will have to flash away. That flash afterwards from Pillshake, not great, but he gets in range, and now the Maokai in a lot of trouble. Does go in a Perfect, though, and they trade the kill back. Kingen gonna get a kill for himself. Pillshake and KT, especially with the way the bot lane is going. It's not a gigantic lead, but it definitely feels like they have the pressure. As the Barrage gonna be coming in, and BDD is ganking on Smolder, and it might just be enough damage. So it's gonna force Kingen away. Here comes Mom, do a little bit extra and get the slowdown, and now Kingen doesn't have anywhere to go. Eats the oranges, isn't enough. One more kill would do it, and he gets the kill.
They're also gonna get the Dragon you mentioned. It's in trade for the Grubs, but bottom side is completely under their control.
Getting engaged on here, gonna knock Beryl in, but he doesn't care. Only level 5 is Moham, and level 6 is the Ash. Moham getting super low, and he will be taken down. Beryl, unfortunately, gonna secure that kill, but it's still a kill for KT's bottom lane.
Yeah, the bottom side, they're up 13 CS on the Ash, and we're still top side.
And he stays to hit the barrel. Isn't enough damage, though. The CP very squishy at this point in time. It's just another kill to KT, and now Lucid gets baited into the fight. And these two tanks nearly able to dive the turret, but they force the flash of Lucid. And here comes BDD.
Got his ultimate. He might be able to snipe him here. He's going for it.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Oh!
Lucid is not looking. He's just going to be taken down.
No. Pretty unlucky.
Wow!
Yeah, that was my reaction as well. Now here the LCK, but it's making it work again.
Yeah, generally I was going to be okay if it was just going to sit in the front line and be a sponge for the Smolder, but he has done so much more than that. As now the engage on a Pillshake. This is a very tanky Sejuani. Can they get through him? The answer is no, as aiming totally whips the ult, hits nothing. And now Beryl and the rest of the team is following up here as Lucid has to flash away. So low are the health bars. As Deft actually getting a little bit too far ahead of his team, and now Pillshake not able to follow up, aiming able to punish him. And here comes Steve plus Kia, a couple of kills going their way as BDD, very, very strong though, gonna get slowed up here. And now BDD is looking to challenge the two of them. Going on in, taking a bunch of damage. He's got aiming behind him as well. It's BDD versus the world.
He's definitely dead here, aiming around the corner. You have to think.
Oh, he's still fighting this one out. He doesn't have his flap, and he will be taken down as the TP goes into the top lane and just running away from the barrels. Another thing that Udyr can do well.
Sounds like.
And yeah, I mean, KT is still ahead on gold by 1,000, and it's Infernal Soul in this one. As KT do look to take down the Rift Heralds. They have all 5 members over here. Meanwhile, King just free farming. They're gonna look for Lucid, who doesn't have sums at this point in time. He's just gonna be food, not able to take out Beryl.
Ends up getting left out to dry, unfortunately. And Perfect's gonna come over here, challenge Kingen.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really long lane. Perfect, a little bit unsure about himself. Doesn't want to be next to the barrel, but he's got Ghost up, so he's still gonna continue chasing. Turtle to absorb some of that damage, lands the stun. Kingen in a bit of a rough spot. He's also got Pillshake coming over. Kingen desperate to take down Perfect, but he can't quite do it as now it's a 3-on-1, and Perfect will net himself a 3rd kill. Oh, he got far behind. He even flashed into a Lilia bowling ball, and it was really rough. And then he eventually carried the late game anyway. So a massive engage under the turret as Beryl, no chill at all, just going in. And the follow-up is not quite there. And now the rest of the team is getting baited in as well. Perfect and the Smolder BDD able to get a couple of kills. Perfect is so deep in that one that BDD can't quite follow up. Maybe a bit over-aggressive with Beryl.
That was definitely a little bit over-aggressive, I think, contested right now. Has the barrage. That shouldn't have happened.
Why did they just... Okay, well, they're maybe gonna be able to punish him after the fact, as here comes the bomb from the sky once again, but BDD is not able to follow up, and they just get away with the free drink, and Kingen's farming the side lane.
When you use gold in the early game very well, but otherwise isn't gonna really feel as good as maybe an MF and a Corki as here comes Moham.
Oh boy, they're just trying to face check into the river, and this time Pillshake is just gonna be punished, and that one felt like it was free as well. I mean, he just kind of sticks his nose in there. He's like, hey, what's going on, guys? DK, take him down. That's the jungler of KT gone, and it might just be an early Baron for DK.
Yeah, let's see if they can stop the Smolder from really burning them down. I mean, there's a very late rotation over from KT.
They're just not really in position to challenge this either. I mean, BDD's doing damage to an Alistar. Moham doesn't care. And now you've got the combo, the turn coming in. They already took the Baron, and BDD can't do anything. Deft and BDD just running away from this one. DK, they get so much value out of this. They're just wondering if they want more.
Deft's gonna have to flash.
And, well, I guess they wanted more. It's not looking good, though. They need to flash away. BDD nearly dies. And now might just be flashed on here. The Cannon Barrage gets him, and a big one to the face of Deft. And finally, DK find that little bit of extra value. The disengage cone will get perfect out, but DK, they surge into the lead.
Yeah, burning health bars down. Something like he just did there with the Achu would be much more valuable if he had that. Is Moham?
That is an Alistar. They're just going to counter engage onto Perfect, who is getting pretty low. He is Udyr trying to run away, but now the engage follow up onto everybody. Mob comes down, and everything is burning as Solo are the health bars, aiming not able to do much, throws an ult into Deft. And now Moham trying to just get a little bit out of this one, but just has to get away from Perfect. And now aiming in a really rough spot himself, trying to take down Pioshik. Showmaker gets one, but it's KT who win the fight in a big way, 3-1.
Right before Baron. Barrel on the flank.
And you see Showmaker trying to chip away. KT not really pushing Lucid out of this one, though, so he is in, and it goes to flip, and it's Infernal Soul to DK, as this fight as well is pretty close. Barrel going to be taken out. BDD super low. He's being burned to a crisp by the Infernal Drake. And down he will go. Showmaker and aiming are Solo themselves. They're going to back away. But DK, man, they get it tossed back to them, and they're able to catch it.
Yeah, King is trying to chase down Perfect and Pioshik here. He's got those Infernal stats.
Yeah, TP's going to come in here. I think they just need to use this timing to try to push a little bit more.
Yeah, they're going to try to turn this into an inhibitor. They have this huge wave here. Even though KT have Baron buff, those Baron minions aren't going to defend this inhib. And if anyone else dies, I mean, they might be able to actually get even more here. Everyone for D+ completely grouped. BDD's not up for 20 seconds.
All right, they're just doing a little bit of posturing outside of the turrets, but there's no wave here, as you mentioned, and they're going into Baron.
It's not going to be an issue of prio necessarily here. Baron is up earlier, so KT do have to kind of juggle between that and the Elder. The Elder is the real prize. If they could just keep D+ busy, deny them from taking this Baron very quickly, should be fine. BD gets GA as well right before this potential fight.
Yeah, the timing is pretty much impeccable on that item. Deft able to check at least with some hawk shots. Barrel in a little bit of trouble as he is having to crash down, and now he has to flash as well. Ton of damage done the other way, though. Aiming super low, in goes Perfect, and he's just gonna die. Tries to get the kill on aiming, as it's just kind of a drive-by into death from Perfect.
Hate the idea, but I think the judgment was a little bit off as now they're just on Elder.
Look at this, look at this. Pioshik, he's trying to get in on the left side, but he cannot. Oh, he's trying to get in, and he does. He's gonna smite it away. The Elder Drake goes to BDD, and now DK can't go anywhere near that guy, but they do take down a couple, and maybe they try to push off of this, but it's very dangerous into Smolder with Elder.
Finally want to interact with him at all. They have Baron buff.
Arrow. One arrow might be enough. Bomb is going to come down, and yeah, they're just abandoning Lucid. They're like, yeah, get out, we need to run away. And it's actually the sapling that slows up BDD and doesn't allow him to get in range. Did a little bit of time to kill the Rel. It just ended up that he got in right on time.
Yeah, it was a really good attempt by Lucid, but the rest of the team was thinking elsewise as Moham is taking a lot of damage very fast. And keep your eyes on those white lines on the health bars between the Elder and the Smolder that it just does so much tick damage. Does still have his GA available as well, so you really have to consider, okay.
They're just going to run into them. I mean, he's got Elder, but now will go Deft as well. Jeez, the damage from the Infernal Soul is just ridiculous. And it's a trade of 80 carries, one of them which had Elder. I feel like DK will take that, but it's still KT in control of the mid lane for now.
Is very strong, but BDD's positioning, his spacing so good.
A little bit of MF poke. Neither team is going to make their move as there is, and, well, it's just, okay, Moham getting pretty low. He has to flash away, and that is a lot of engaged potential taken away from the side of DK.
And it's just what we said, the arrow trade is better. Now he doesn't have ult, he's arrowed again, And there's rushing towards the Elder here, but KT have the damage. Moham is on the wrong side of this fight.
Moham has his ult back, so at least he's got that. Ward comes down, and, well, the wave is pushing bot as well, so DK really trying to utilize that at this point.
Look, Barrel's engage is what everyone's got their eyes on right now. He has flash ult, and D+ need to respect it.
Oh, they're TPing bot. They want to end the game. They don't care about the Elder Drake. They want to take the game. Here comes the Barrel engage. That is a massive bullet time, but the stun comes in onto aiming, and it's a flip for the Elder. It goes the way of DK, and down will go Barrel. Lucian will also bite the dust, but the Elder Drake is enough. The TP is coming in, but it's too late. Oh, he does get in, but Showmaker just has enough damage to push him away. And BDD all alone, the sad little baby dragon, will not win the game for the team. D+ Kia take game one.
It was this game for KT. Outside of that, though, sure, he does a big damage numbers, but when it came to objective control, setup, being decisive around fights, it was especially Lucid who had the much better exchange. Sure, he did end up losing the first Elder, zones himself out there, the rest of the team doesn't burn it down, but otherwise, last game we talked about, oh, they could flex it, they could pick the Lucian for mid and go top Smolder. This time I felt like it should have been even more obvious that this was a possibility because it is Kingen.
Between these two teams, as it often does, the top onto the Rift for game number 2. Yeah. This is very interesting. This is like what you get in solo queue where the guy's like, hey, I'm not good in this matchup, can you swap with me? He's probably spamming that copy pasta in his brain right now. Moham gonna flash under the turret. Pyosik gets stunned under there. It's another turret shot into him, and the Ignite nearly takes him down, but Pyosik will survive. Not quite the trade KT were looking for. They're going in again, though, aiming in a bit of trouble. Flash forward from Barrel, and the fourth shot from Dev gets the first blood, and that is the trade they were looking for.
Clean, but I've already seen him push him once. His Barrel's up here.
Yeah, Showmaker in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have flash. Remember, he used it before. Now the all-out comes out. He is going to throw his ult in, but flash forward from Perfect might be enough. He gets that last auto in. As Lucid nearby, but it's 1v3. He's got Moham here as well. It's just a clean gank from Barrel.
KT's great timings from Pyosik. This time it's just all about the mid lane here in this exchange. Bottom lane, obviously great flashes. Here we go, Barrel in again. He's just not stopping.
Yeah, the peel here, though, on a Barrel is quite good. They don't have the damage, though, and they get baited into this one. As Barrel, the mind games, he picks up another kill for the team. As now Showmaker is here. A lot of low health bars. BDD in a lot of trouble, has to flash over the wall. And he's almost definitely going down, unless Kingen goes down first. But no, 1Q will get the job done. And the Grubs are actually denied from here.
Pyosik is very far away from any help after a lot of action bottom side. Speaking of,
Dev just kind of walking up by himself in a 1v2. Just has to flash and cleanse. Here's the bullet time, and Deft barely going to get out. It's the first streak of the game. Currently 4v3, but with the TP coming in from Kingen. It's actually KT Rolster that are going to give this one up. So enough pressure and no sums on Deft potentially. They just say, well.
So going to be less tanky. As he wants to be a late game carry, not just a tank that also has scaling properties.
Moham just kind of walks past him. Kingen nearly dies, and Barrel's just going to lock down Moham, but BD very far down the lane. Might not be punished here, but here comes Lucid and aiming, both running this way. Maybe trying to punish Barrel here, as so many members of DK are in the area. Just going to throw a bullet time into the Leona, as now everybody's getting locked down. In goes Pyosik, but he is alone, and Moham's going to survive. Showmaker very far forward, might be punished, but Pyosik's going to go down. And pulled through the wall is Showmaker. He will flash to get away, and that means DK just pick up 2 kills just like that. Down comes Mom. Just to keep him alive, but that lane has, a big engage, this time from Moham on the rail, catches 2, and that is just free. KT cannot get in onto the Drake.
Should be 2 dragons to D+, off of the play, 2 kills. Kingen lives topside, he's still scaling. Prepared. And this is one of those secondary options in this game. It's still only 1,000, 1,400 the gold lead here, but
Showmaker, his opportunity. And he will get a bunch of poke damage.
Barrel?
Does get Barrel in. Barrel just going to assassinate Showmaker, who is not very tanky at this point in time. Nice lineup here from DK, as now the sleep is going to come in. And a massive bullet time once again forces the flashes away. So many low health bars on the side of KT, but they're still going forward. Lucid And he goes for the arm guard, but he's probably, no, he's going to get away, and he flashes out of that one, aiming, takes down the Leona, who just goes a bit too far.
I mean,
as in goes perfect, not going to get a knock up. As everybody kind of posturing on the Drake, DK not overcommitting just yet. Moham actually going to crash down away, and now the Maokai ultimate comes in. They're just going to back out of this one. But KT, they want more. They want to engage as the sleep is coming down, but Lucid is getting so low. As in goes Showmaker. He finally hits something. A massive bullet time lines them all up. They run straight into aiming, and Lucid is still alive in this match.
There's the stacks.
And Deft, well, he's just gonna go down. Nice try, as he was on the long-term chase, and Lucid gets away again.
KT!
And KT have not been able to punish that at all. You know, you think about the MF, here comes another bullet time. Barrel, or rather, Pyosik is just dead. Yeah, I mean, there's not much they can do. I mean, DK are just so strong, and the MF is just untouchable right now. We talk about the Leona so good into the MF, but we have not seen the MF shut down at all in this game.
They're gonna start Baron here. Barrel trying to look for Moham's flank.
Oh, Jin's gonna open up here. They want to get Lucid, but he's got Zhonya's completed, and now the Smolder's online. The MF's in a perfect spot. Showmaker will go down, but the damage is not coming from Showmaker. It's a triple kill for Aiming, who now has 9 kills in this game, and they will take down the Baron here at 26 minutes. On about the MF, he is insanely fed, and I feel like this is now just their victory lap.
And yeah, I mean, the Baron just might end the game. They have this inhibitor. They could get a pick. They certainly could just end. Moham's got his ult back, so does Aiming. And they otherwise could just siege with this Smolder.
Yeah. They've got pretty good siege, you know, with the Lilia, the Smolder, even the MF herself. But with the wave cleared and the Baron buff not too much longer, but Pyosik's just gonna go in, nearly dies. Mom might take him down, not quite. As now trying to go in onto King, and again, he's not really the target. And there's no follow-up on the engage either. The Solar Flare now used, which means that Aiming can pretty much safely just throw in a bullet time whenever he wants.
You can't get on top of Moham either, because he will just turn that onto you instantly if you try to collapse on him. So he's actually very safe in the base. Doesn't care. It's a second inhibitor, and the siege continues. Baron's still up for 15 seconds.
Yep, just poking him down, doing more and more damage. The Atu gonna go down. Moham gonna take a turret shot as KT, one last try. They were thinking about it, but DK showing a lot of patience, you know, especially with this Mountain Drake up. They do not want to overextend, and so they will back away from the base. Mountain Drake don't have the soul just yet, obviously, but they're looking to siege here even without the Baron, which does spawn in about a minute. So just looking to keep the pressure up. The other two pushing lanes should keep KT in kind of a vice grip in their base.
Yeah, Showmaker's in mid here on the cross as well.
KT, they gotta send it. They don't have anywhere else to go. They're gonna go in onto the front line as in goes Moham, catches everybody. The bullet time is just insane damage. Everybody is slept as well, as it's really the victory lap this time for the side of DK. A triple kill for Lucid. And man, that was a clean one from the side of DK, and it's a clean 2-0 from D plus Kia to take down KT. And they will secure their spot here with a very strong series win moving into playoffs.
When they give all the gold to Aiming, and Showmaker just kind of has a muted game.
Oh.
Yeah, he always looks like,
yeah.
He looks so disappointed in himself. But I think it's really a sign of Showmaker was always the main character for this roster, right? He's the franchise player. He's signed.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Yusun for the post-match interview translation. And today, as we had the final match of the both teams, we're going to be joined by the entire player lineups from D plus Kia and KT. But let's start off with D plus Kia first. We'll be joined by Kingen, Lucid, Showmaker, Aiming, Moham, and Kellen for the interview. Congratulations on the win today. That was a fantastic series to close out the regular season for D plus Kia, and we can see happy parents from Kingen, right? Yeah, they are my parents. Fantastic to see your parents supporting here at the venue as well. And the signature pose as well. Thanks to them, I think I got the parents buff and got a clean 2-0. I love you, Mom and Dad.
얼마나 뿌듯한 순간이실까요? 네, 기분
A very wholesome moment and some hearts and the muscle flex from King and's parents to show support. Amazing. And we had an absolutely fantastic series today as well, given that both teams are known for always delivering epic matches. It was expected to be another intense one today. What were your thoughts as you came to the arena? Because this is going to be the final match of the regular season, we wanted to kind of get rid of all the burdens on our shoulder and try out everything we wanted to try. Also, I'm so glad that we were able to kind of deliver a very happy and exciting match for the DK fans for the very last match of the regular season. And in game 2, King and Yu played Smolder top and faced up against BDD in a lane swap. How was that experience? I was a little bit flustered because it's a common mid lane matchup, and I was pretty sure BDD will be very well experienced in that matchup, but ever since the first laning phase, I was able to kind of do a decent job, so it was pretty good. You had a lot of strong performance this summer, sometimes even showing a machine-like precision. So what stands out as the most memorable moment for you? I cannot really choose one specific game or a moment, but today we were able to get a 2-0 win, whereas we were always going to the distance in the majority of the regular season, so I'm so happy that we pulled it off. Once again, please give it up for Kingen. And now moving on to Lucid. This year, every match up against KT Roaster this year has gone to a full set, but today you guys secured a clean 2-0. Were you expecting this? I mean, every time we play, I had this confidence that we can get a clean 2-0, but we could not. So it was very exhausting, very hard, but I really wanted to get a fast, quick 2-0 today, and I think my resolution kind of showed off. And Lucid, this is your debut year, and this is your second season in the LCK. How do you feel you have grown personally? I was, lost in the very early this year, but I got so much help from the teammates and coaching staff, so I was able to get so many takeaways and grow as a player. Then what are your thoughts and resolution for the playoffs? This playoff is very deeply connected with our chances of making it into Worlds as well, so I want to make sure to do my best in order to get the best outcome possible. Now, Showmaker. Today was the final match before the playoffs, which could be the final track of your own performance as well. It could be a day to assess your form in competition. What aspects did you focus on? We were already locked third place, and yeah, this is the final kind of showcase of our performance before the playoffs, so I wanted to kind of display the best performance, but also kind of throw our shots to try new stuff. And you led the team to a victory with a flawless, quirky performance without dying a single time, and got a POG as well. How do you feel about that game? Well, game number 1 was pretty, intense. It was a neck and neck game, but in the end, we managed to get a win, so it meant a lot to us. And 1,000 POG points definitely makes me feel happy. Now, D plus Kia secured third place in the regular season, giving you the right to choose your opponent in the first round of the playoffs. What will you consider the most when making your choice? I think it's a big advantage that you get to choose your own opponent in the first round of playoffs, so we will make sure to analyze all the potential opponents and make the decision. Moving on to aiming.
에이밍 하면 골드킹, 또
Aiming, the
골드킹
Gold
하면
King.
에이밍이라는
The Gold
얘기가
King
나올
itself.
만큼 정말 최다 골드킹을 수상하시기도
You
했고요. 그만큼 멋진
set the
활약을
record for
많이
the most
보여주신
Gold
정규
King title this
시즌이었습니다.
season. Had an outstanding performance. You also had 301 kills this single regular season as well. That also sets a new record. So how would you like to look back at your regular season? Heading towards the end of the season, I got to just pick up so many kills thanks to my teammates. So I want to say thank you to all of them, and I had a lot of fun this season. Aiming, your stats in the second round were just absolutely fantastic. It was dazzling. Your laning phase stats are amazing. Your team fight stats are also amazing. How do you feel about this record? I can confidently say that I can be one of the best AD carries right now in the league. I am the one that can bring the team to the victory. Then anything you want to say to your PO AD carry opponents? The DK, the strong bottom lane is coming at you. Get ready. Now let's hear from Moham. Your last match of the regular season was the Saturday Showdown up against KT Roaster. You not only won, but also earned your first POG. How do you feel? I was expecting Showmaker. I wish he could have won the POG in the last game so he can tie the POG standings first place. You know, I really hope for Showmaker also winning the player of the split though. Still happy to win the first POG of the season in the LCK summer. Showmaker, anything you want to add on to that? He did a fantastic job that game. So you joined the starting lineup of DK at the end of the summer season. How was your performance with Aiming on the bottom lane? Aiming, he's a great AD carry. Then anything you want to say about your playoffs resolution? Don't cry. I was actually feeling very pressured. I mean, I can tell Zephyr was under so much pressure, kind of feeling myself, you know, the starting lineup. But I want to live up to his expectation, and I will do my best. Thank you, everyone. And Kellen, the long summer season has come to an end finally. How do you look back at it? I mean, we had so much fun together, and I think our performance has become so much better as well. Well, today's opponent, KT, has always been a tough opponent. So what were your thoughts as you were watching and supporting your team? I mean, nothing special, but it was a very intense series for sure. But I was just, you know, supporting and watching the match behind. Anything you want to say to the fans as well? I don't know how everything will unfold, but, you know, I wish I can also play a match in front of my fans. Thank you so much. And before we go, Showmaker asked the captain of the Kia anything you want to say to all the DK fans out there. So we are just about to hit playoffs, a very important one, and I wish we can perform at the roadshow to close out the summer season. Once again, congratulations to D+ Kia on today's win, and please give a round of applause before they leave the stage. Thank you so much for joining us, and now let's move on to the KT Roaster team interview. Despite today's unfortunate loss, they gave their best until the very last match of the regular season. We will be joined by the KT Roaster players shortly. Please welcome them with a warm round of applause. Starting off with the top laner, Perfect. This was your last match of the regular season. How do you feel about your experience in the summer split? I wanted to perform better than the spring season, but I think I left more regrets than the spring. But still, everyone gave their best until the very end. What are your resolutions for the playoffs? I don't see myself or my performance solid enough, so I hope to come back stronger for the playoffs.
네, 이어서 표식 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다.
Now let's hear from Pyosik.
네, 정말 고생 많으셨습니다.
You worked so hard until the very last match. How do you feel about the summer regular season?
많은 일이 있었던 것 같은데
I think a lot of things happened throughout the season, but still, together we were able to have so much fun. I want to say thank you to my teammates who worked so hard together. And now we are about to head into the playoffs, so we will make sure to do our best there as well. Then anything you would like to say to your teammates, encouraging them to do even better in the playoffs?
플레이오프 땐 다 같이 잘해보자. 화이팅.
Let's do our best, maybe even better at the playoffs. Fighting!
이어서 BDD 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다. BDD 선수 이번 정규 시즌 정말
Now,
다양한
BDD,
챔피언들을 이용하시면서
you
멋진
showed
모습
incredible
보여주셨는데요.
performances with
서머 정규 시즌
variety of
마치신 소감
champions.
들어보겠습니다.
How do you feel about completing the summer regular season? This year, there were a lot of risky moments. We were almost on the verge of not making it into the playoffs, but I'm very relieved that we ended up making it to the playoffs. And the playoffs is still ahead, so what mindset will you have as you prepare for it? Not like today, you know, because we hit the bottom. Now it's about to rise again. This is KT Roaster, so we will make sure to do our best to, you know, prepare the best form for the playoffs.
이어서 데프트 선수 만나서 이야기
Now let's
나눠보도록
hear from
하겠습니다.
Deft.
데프트 선수 이번 서머 정말
This summer,
전승기였던 전지를 잡아내기도 하고요. 좋은
KT
모습이
Roaster had so many
많았습니다.
highlights,
기억나는
including
장면이
ending
있을까요?
the Genji's undefeated streak. What stands out the most to you? Probably every single match for me, you know. Regardless of who our opponent was, we have the potential to beat. So every moment that we were able to pop off stands out to me. Then what kind of form or performance do you want to showcase in the playoffs? I mean, not like today, you know, if you are in a state where you cannot lose a game, you should be able to close out the game. And I want to make sure that we give our best at the playoffs.
마지막으로 베릴 선수 만나보겠습니다.
And lastly,
베릴 선수 정규 시즌
Beryl.
마지막 경기 마치신 소감 부탁드립니다.
How do you feel about finishing the last match of the regular season?
초에 연패했던 기억이 엊그제 같은데
I mean, like,
빠르게 두 달
we were on a losing streak. It feels like yesterday, but time flies and we're already finishing the regular season.
기분은 좋습니다.
But still, it feels, you know, nice to be able to play at the playoffs as well. Before we go, anything you would like to say to the fans as well? So we still have playoffs and also the Worlds qualifier to play as well. It's a bit of a bummer that we were not able to play at our best level today, but we will do our best in order to come back stronger and with a better form at the playoffs and also the regional qualifiers. And last but not least, Deft, as the team's captain, can you share your thoughts and resolution for the future with the fans? Throughout the summer season, the energy coming from the fans was amazing. It meant the world for us. So when we win, we were so happy for them. When we lost, we were so sorry for them. So I want to promise that we will come back stronger at the playoffs. And this will mark the end of the team interview from KT Roaster and back to the space. Thank you.